Thank you very much for staying with us, and good evening. We are glad you're watching WION The World is One. My name is Eric Njoka. Let's begin this broadcast with the top headlines at this hour. In yet another stark warning, the World Health Organization says Omicron cases are doubling in 1.5 to 3 days in areas with community transmission. The new variant has been detected in 89 countries so far. Key India-Central Asia dialogue begins in New Delhi with focus on situation in Afghanistan. India's foreign minister holds crucial bilaterals with his Tajikistan counterpart. EU diplomats warn that nuclear deal talks were rapidly nearing the end of the road after Iran requested for a new pause in dialogue that resumed after a 5-month break. In a major relief for Afghan citizens, Taliban authorities set to resume issuing passports in Kabul, opening up a window for thousands to escape the ongoing crisis. At least 12 people killed and 13 others injured after a powerful gas explosion in a sewage system led to a building collapse in Karachi. A team of experts has been summoned to probe what exactly ignited the gas. Fierce fighting continues to rage on in Ethiopia. Government forces claim to recapture several towns in the north from Tigrayan rebels. At least 33 people killed and over 300,000 people flee their homes as one of the strongest typhoons hits the Philippines. Power and communication lines damaged in several provinces. Welcome. Our top story at this hour. Pakistan is hosting an OIC foreign ministers meeting on Afghanistan. This was proposed by Saudi Arabia last month as the OIC chair. Pakistan had welcomed the move and offered to host the session. The idea is to let the international community know about the realities on ground and organize assistance for the economic situation in Afghanistan. Foreign ministers from Saudi Arabia, Iran, Turkey, UAE and Qatar will be present in person at the meeting. As for the Taliban, the interim government foreign minister and other delegates will be present. Even though they will not be partaking in the summit, they will be engaging with officials present at the meeting. The Taliban are sending an 8-member delegation led by Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi. The idea is to facilitate the contact of Taliban government with the international community. In the latest, Pakistan Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi said that the upcoming OIC meeting with members of international community and the Taliban would act as a stepping stone in finding solutions to the humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan. As of now, Afghanistan faces a looming economic meltdown and humanitarian catastrophe in the aftermath of the Taliban takeover. Billions of dollars worth of the country's assets have been frozen abroad. Apart from this, international funding to the country has also been seized. And in the latest, OIC Secretary General Hussein Brahim Taha has already reached Pakistan ahead of the 17th extraordinary session on Afghanistan. Upon his arrival, Taha called upon Pakistan's Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi, where he expressed his deep appreciation to the Pakistani government for its generosity in hosting the conference. Saudi delegates also reached Islamabad on Friday to attend the session. The delegation comprised of Saudi Arabia's Afghan Affairs Department head. The Middle Eastern country sent its first batch of aid to Afghanistan on Friday. The Saudi airlift, organized by King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Center, consisted of 6 planes with 197 tons and 238 kilograms of food and shelter bags. Not only this, 3rd and 4th planes taking part in Saudi aid airlift mission carrying 66 tons of food and shelter bags for Afghans reached on Saturday. Apart from Saudi Arabia, 90 other delegates who have been invited to the summit reached Pakistan's capital on December 17th. Besides the foreign ministers from the OIC member states, some non-member states, including the United States, UK, France, Germany, Russia and China, have also been invited. The OIC-led conference will be the biggest international gathering on Afghanistan since the Taliban took over the country in mid-August. For more updates on this, WION Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik is joining us live from Islamabad. Thank you for your time and joining us. Good to see you, Malik. What more do we know about this highly critical international gathering? And could this OIC meeting be the ultimate saving grace for Afghanistan?
Well, an extraordinary meeting, an extraordinary session, and won't be wrong to say, at an extraordinary time. Over the weekend. Tomorrow, Pakistan is all set to host the OIC Foreign Ministers meeting, the extraordinary session on Afghanistan that would be focusing on finding solutions with regards to the humanitarian crisis that is currently in Afghanistan. Now, in participation would be 55 countries, the OIC member countries, either their deputy foreign ministers, their foreign ministers, or their special representatives. What I understand, what I picked up is at least 22 foreign ministers will be there in person in participation, including the foreign minister of Malaysia, Indonesia, Turkey, Iran, UAE, and other Muslim states as well. Now, the key point or the key focus of this meeting is that engagement with the wider international community, to give them an understanding of what is happening in Afghanistan on ground and how the international community can help help in the Afghan crisis, given that the winters are already there. It's already started snowing in the capital city of Kabul as well. There is a looming hunger crisis as well. The World Food Programme has also warned that about by the mid of the coming year, that is 2022, 95% of the Afghans would not be able to afford meals 2 times a day. So therefore, in order to find some practical solutions of this problem, that is the looming humanitarian crisis, this critical meeting is taking place. The Afghan delegation is already here. Foreign ministers of Malaysia, foreign ministers of Indonesia, the Secretary General of OIC, Kazakhstan, they're also here as well. Just a while back, the Transport Minister of Uzbekistan also arrived. So by and large, the delegates have already started pouring into the capital city. The security arrangements have been done at utmost. Islamabad is on high alert in order to avert any untoward incident and in order to ensure smooth flow of events. And an all-important meeting. In fact, as I talk to you, the American Special Representative on Afghanistan, Thomas West, has literally just tweeted, and he said that he's arrived in Islamabad as well, and he looks forward to the OIC session as well. So therefore, an all-important meeting. There are increased speculations the Taliban delegation will also be meeting with the Troika, that is Pakistan, US, Russia, China, the Troika Plus. A meeting would be held as well. The German special envoy got here today. So by and large, it is a mela of the diplomatic community, a wider window of opportunity, but focusing on one thing, on one goal, that is the humanitarian crisis that is currently in Afghanistan. Eric?
Anas, Malik, just stay with us, because this next story is in Pakistan, and we want your input on that. Now, at least 12 people were killed and several others injured following a gas cylinder blast in Pakistan's southern city of Karachi. The explosion went off in a drain beneath a bank building in the Sher Shah area. Visuals emerging from the site show the two-story building's windows and doors blown out, with documents scattered in nearby area.
पेट्रोल डाल रही था वो पंप पे, तो एकदम ज़ोरदार धमाका हुआ है, गैस सिलेंडर का गटर का हुआ है। तो मेरा जो फ्रेंड था उसको काफ़ी पीछे कमर पे भी चोट लगी है, तो उसको फ़ौरन हॉस्पिटल भिजवा दिया था, एम्बुलेंस आई। तो बाकी जो काफ़ी लोग यहाँ पे ज़ख्मी थे, कुछ फंसे हुए थे, एक बच्चा फंसा हुआ था जिसको मैंने मिल के पंप वालों ने और आसपास जो लोग मौजूद थे उन्होंने मिल के इसको निकाला। 15 लोगों को तो हमने खुद मजीद निकाला।
The Karachi Provincial Police has said that the bomb disposal squad is investigating the blast, but apparently the leakage of gas was the cause. Explosions caused by faulty gas cylinders are common in Pakistan. These cylinders are used for cooking and in cars. Karachi, which is responsible for 60% of Pakistan's economic output, has long endured creaky infrastructure, illegal construction and failing municipal services. And according to Pakistan's daily, The Dawn, the bank occupants had previously been ordered to vacate the building to clean the drain where the blast occurred. Let's go back to our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik. Thank you very much for staying on. What's the latest on this recent event? We know investigations are currently going on, but as we have reported, there is a rise in rampant gas explosions in Pakistan. Any word from the government about that?
Well, the latest is that at least 15 people are confirmed killed, whereas another 12 are injured. Among those 12, 4 are still under treatment, whereas the other 8 were discharged after initial treatment. Now, this explosion did not particularly take place because of a cylinder that exploded, but rather gases being accumulated in the sewage lines. And that is a problem because we've seen illegal constructions in Karachi over these drains, over these open nalas that basically carry these drains and sewage lines. And because they do not have an outflow and there is construction, so on and off we've been seeing such explosions taking place. Now, the bomb disposal squad has declared this as an act, as not an act of terrorism, and that it is indeed an explosion that was caused due to the accumulation of gases in the drainage line, in the sewage line rather, on which this building was. And given that it was an illegal construction, what local media says that this construction is dated back to the point that they do not even have record of this construction. Just a while back, a prominent figure in Karachi, a member of National Assembly, Alamgir Khan, his father has also lost his life in this unfortunate explosion that took place in a bank, and the entire infrastructure on the building in which this bank was housed, that came down. Not just that, a building in front of that, one of its pillars, that also has come down, and the debris that fell on the ongoing traffic. The reason we're seeing the rise in death toll, and what locals say that it was absolute scenes of catastrophe over there. Eric?
Anas Malik, thank you very much for pointing that out and for your insights and for talking to us today. Amid the worsening humanitarian crisis, crippling economy and deepening poverty, a latest move by the Taliban has brought a ray of hope for thousands of Afghans. The Taliban government has said that they will resume issuing passports in Kabul from 10th of January next year, which means thousands who have been waiting to escape the ongoing economic crisis can do so in near future. The Taliban stopped issuing passports the moment they took over Afghanistan. Tens of thousands remained stranded at Kabul's international airport. Many Afghans have also been waiting to visit neighboring countries like India and Pakistan for medical treatment. But the absence of passports delayed their plans. Now, the Taliban did reopen the passport office in October, but it was suspended within a few days. This as a number of applications led to the breakdown of biometric equipment. Now, the head of the passport department has said the technical issues have been resolved. He further added that initially travel documents will be given to those who had already applied before the suspension. However, new applicants will be accepted from January next year. Taliban's new ruling can be seen as its commitment to the international community. Taliban is trying to get back the billions of dollars of foreign aid, which was immediately suspended in the final stage of U.S. military withdrawal. The abrupt withholding of foreign aid led to an unprecedented fiscal shock. According to the United Nations World Food Programme, at least 22.8 million of Afghanistan's 38 million people already face acute food insecurity and malnutrition. It has described the current situation in the war-torn nation as an avalanche of hunger. Western powers claim that there has been some progress in talks to save the landmark Iran nuclear deal of 2015. However, European diplomats warn that they are also rapidly reaching the end of the road. In a statement, Britain, France and Germany said that there has been some technical progress in the last 24 hours, but it only takes us back nearer to where the talks stood in June. We are rapidly reaching the end of the road for these negotiations. Iran has requested a new pause in the talks in Vienna. This comes as a blow to European mediators. The talks had resumed in November after a 5-month break. This came after the election of a new hardline government in Iran.
We have communicated both through the Europeans and directly to Iran our view on their continued forward progress on the program, our alarm about it, and I'm not going to say more publicly about what those precise messages are because I believe that Iran understands them, but don't want to negotiate in public on them. To your broader question on how's it going, it's not going well in the sense that we do not yet have a pathway back into the JCPOA.
The West is concerned that Iran will soon make enough progress that the 2015 accord will be obsolete. Former U.S. President Donald Trump pulled out of the Iran nuclear deal in 2018. He had also imposed sweeping sanctions, vowing to bring the U.S. adversary to its knees. This included a unilateral ban on Iran's oil sales. President Joe Biden supports a return to the agreement. However, there has been frustration over the pace of efforts. Biden government has also promised to lift sanctions, but only if Iran complies. On Friday, the International Atomic Energy Agency Director General voiced concerns that a camera memory unit remained missing from the complex.
Your corner gas station, God willing. Today we're launching a major effort.
Let's now head to the Philippines, where the country has been battered by one of the strongest typhoons. As devastation continues, at least 33 people have died in Typhoon Rai's aftermath. Many more are still missing. The death toll rose sharply after disaster official confirmed 13 people died in the central province of Negros Occidental. Most of these people died by drowning, and another 50 are currently missing. Authorities say the residents were asked to evacuate the province, but many were reluctant to leave. The situation is extremely grim. Over 300,000 people have fled their homes. Parts of central and southern regions are left with no communication or even electricity. With maximum winds of 195 kilometers per hour, houses and buildings have been turned into heaps of debris. Some central islands have been completely leveled to the ground. The Philippines is prone to natural disasters. It is even ranked as one of the world's most vulnerable countries against climate change. It is hit by an average of 20 storms and typhoons every year. But Rai was one of the most powerful typhoons to hit the country. The typhoon has now blown away into the South China Sea and is heading towards Vietnam. Now that the typhoon has weakened, the mammoth task of cleaning, rebuilding and relocating will begin. But even that front is not looking easy. Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte has said that the funds needed to help affected areas are low due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
itong COVID na naubos ang pera natin. So we're trying to scrimp how much we can raise so that we can marshal it to the areas affected.
Duterte's turbulent term is set to end with next year's elections. He has even withdrawn his candidature from the Senate elections. But critics say controversies around his anti-drugs crackdown could have played a role. Today marks 10 years since the death of North Korean leader Kim Jongil. North Koreans gathered on Thursday to honor their dear leader who ruled the country for 17 years. Every year since Kim Jong-il's death, North Koreans have observed a period of mourning for 10 days. However, this time it is different. People in North Korea have been ordered not to laugh, sing or drink during this time.
Mourning is a thing very personal to people. It is something that cannot be forced upon. It's a human emotion that cannot be regulated. Yet, on the 10th death anniversary of former North Korean leader Kim Jongil, North Korea's supreme leader Kim Jong-un has ordered a strict 11-day mourning period. Citizens have been banned from showing any sign of happiness during this time. They can neither laugh nor drink alcohol. And on the exact day of his death anniversary, which is on the 17th of December, North Koreans will even be banned from going grocery shopping. And if someone dies during this 11-day mourning period, North Koreans cannot cry out loud. While mourning the national leaders, their own right to grieve has been taken away. Kim Jong-il was the father of the current supreme leader Kim Jong-un and ruled the kingdom from 1994 until his death in 2011. His rule coincided with one of the darkest periods in North Korean history. It is estimated that as many as 3.5 million people died during a 4-year period of famine in the mid-1990s. The police has been told in advance to be on the lookout for people who fail to appear as appropriately bereaved. Meanwhile, tribute to late North Korean leader have started pouring in from across the nation. Just a day before his 10th death anniversary, people across Pyongyang stopped to bow towards the nearest statue or portrait of the former leader on Friday. North Korea halted all business for around 5 minutes as a mark of respect. Bureau Report WION, World is One.
Golfing legend Tiger Woods will return to the sport later this evening at the Parents and Child Championship in Orlando. Woods played the tournament's pro-am event alongside his 12-year-old son Charlie on Friday, and this is the father-son combination's second stint at the exhibition event. Pictures and videos of Woods practicing have been doing the rounds for the last month, but this is the first time he has been seen playing in the full glare of media and fans since suffering career-threatening injuries in a car crash in February. Woods broke cover at the Hero World Challenge in the Bahamas last month and admitted he was lucky to be alive. He has ruled out a full-time return to golf and accepts he will have to pick and choose tournaments if his injuries heal. Woods continues to walk with a slight limp in his right leg and maintained that a competitive return was a long way off at the moment. His son Charlie has been making waves in age group golf, and the pair finished 7th at their first appearance last year.
Well, it's going to be a while. I couldn't walk this golf course even right now. Even it's flat. I don't have the endurance. My leg's not quite right yet, and it's going to take time. I told you guys in the Bahamas that I'm a long way away from playing tournament golf. You know, this is hit and hop in a cart and, you know, moving about my business just like I would have back home at Medalist. You know, playing tournament golf and being able to recover, practice and train and hit balls after a round and do all the things I need to do to be at a high level, I'm a long way away from that.
That's it. Thank you very much for your time and for watching this edition of WION World is One. My name is Eric Njoka. Good night.